Credit cards have been and will be a large part of the personal finance portfolios of many people. Personally, I've developed a credit score of over 780 points, and I've had 11 credit cards, all paying 0 interest. In this video, I'm gonna go ahead and explain every type of credit card to help you make a decision for your complex needs. Credit cards are so complex. We're gonna go in, figure out what each one is, and you'll know exactly which one to go for at the end of this video. So before getting started with the credit cards, you need to figure out why you're gonna be getting a credit card in the first place. Do you plan on traveling more, maybe getting some more rewards, or maybe just getting some regular cash back on regular old spending? Determining why you are getting a credit card is super critical to using the card correctly and also getting the right card to satisfy your needs. Credit cards are great for so many reasons, but have a lot of negatives if you use the card incorrectly. It can be really complicated. So first, ask yourself these questions. Do you have debt? How are your spending habits? Technically, credit cards are actually a debt tool, giving you access to somebody else's money. And while having someone else's money is nice, it's not necessarily free and can really be expensive if you use it incorrectly. You gotta pay your credit card bill off in full and on time every single month, or you're gonna be getting charged interest fees. If you do have any other debt and you don't think you're gonna be able to pay your credit card bill off on time and in full every month, then I would totally reconsider getting a credit card in the first place. It can be helpful to check Mint or maybe look at your debit card to see how much cash flow is going in and then out of that checking account. That way, we can help determine your monthly spending. Now, if you're sure you want to get a credit card and you're positive that you'll pay it off in full every month, let's take a look at a few types of credit cards. We have secured credit cards, cashback credit cards, travel credit cards, business credit cards, student credit cards, and store credit cards. That's a lot, guys, I know. I personally only have maybe like 3 or 4 of those categories, so you don't have to get all of them, don't worry. We're gonna go ahead and explain what each one of those are so you can go ahead and make the correct decision and not end up with something that you don't want. Most people, when they're just starting out, will do perfectly fine with a secured credit card. Secured credit cards are designed for people with no credit score to get them started. If you don't know your credit score, or maybe you do, but you just haven't gotten started yet, you should apply for these cards. Secured credit cards come with minimal features. They don't really include a lot of cash back or travel benefits, so don't expect that when you're just getting started. They usually have a limit between $300 and $500, which you pay upfront in cash to the lender, so they will trust you with their credit card. Basically, if you hand them $500, they're gonna give you a $500 credit limit, and that means they trust you, so you should go ahead and take that into consideration when using the card. The trade-off here is that you can grow your trust with the bank. Since you gave them $500, they're gonna trust you with that $500, and you can use that to go spend now. Since you're gonna be paying it all back, they're gonna trust you more and more, and that is called your credit score. Now that you've paid your credit card off every month, you've shown the lenders that you're good, it's time to get some cash back. So let's move on to the next card and keep going. So the next level of credit cards is called Tier 2 credit cards. These types of credit cards are usually 0 annual fee cashback credit cards, like the Chase Freedom Unlimited. To get a Tier 2 credit card, you need to be somewhere in the 650 to 690 credit score range. Obviously, you could be higher than this, but have at least a 650 credit score. These cards come with cash back and great earning structures like 5% on travel, 3% on dining, maybe 1% back on everything else. These cards are excellent to continue to build your credit score and move on to the next card here. There are so many more cards to get, guys, but we're gonna talk about travel credit cards next because that usually is what people go for after getting a cashback credit card and holding it for like 6 to 12 months. I know I've made a lot of videos talking about travel credit cards because they're that good. I'm serious. Know that in able to get a travel credit card, you're gonna wanna hold a cashback credit card, like I said, for 6 to 12 months. And that's gonna take some time and a little bit of patience. Travel credit cards usually have annual fees, so it's good to know that you're gonna use the benefits included. If you want to progress into annual fee credit cards, you need to understand how the point currencies work, and you do this by just practicing with a cashback credit card and testing out like the Chase Freedom Unlimited and the Chase Freedom Flex to see how Chase Ultimate Rewards Points works, for example. Travel credit cards fall into 3 categories: hotel credit cards, airline credit cards, and multi-use credit cards. Some examples of these cards would be the World of Hyatt credit card, the Alaska Airlines credit card, and the Amex Gold credit card. All of these cards are excellent if you want the maximum benefits for traveling. Business credit cards, those are usually reserved for people with businesses. You might think that, but let me tell you, With just a side hustle, you can get a business card, no problem. I even did it myself. Well, I consider this YouTube channel a sole proprietor side hustle, so I applied for a business card and I got approved. Business credit cards are great for separating your personal and business expenditures. Just like personal credit cards, there's also travel and cashback business credit cards. Business credit cards come with insanely high bonuses, but you have to spend a ton to get there. An example would be a $6,000 requirement spend in 3 months to get 90,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points on the Chase Ink Unlimited. That's pretty good. Compare that to the Chase Sapphire Preferred, you only need to spend $4,000 in 3 months. That's a $2,000 difference. And it adds up. These points are highly valuable and can be transferred out to many different transfer partners, just like travel credit cards. While it may be nice to get points from credit cards, it totally makes sense for you to have some sort of side hustle or business income. Actually, you don't even need income. You can do this without income, but having some sort of business structure set up or even a sole proprietorship side hustle is something that I would recommend. I mean, these cards are really only reserved for business purposes, but I've seen lots of other people put their personal expenditures on there to try to hit sign-up bonuses. Actually, me included, I'm not gonna lie. When just getting started, it may seem a little bit difficult to figure out what kind of card you wanna get. Well, I want to tell you, you may have already answered that for yourself. If you are a student, you can get a student credit card, and I would highly recommend doing so. A nice part about a student credit card in comparison to like a secured credit card is that you're not going to have to give any cash up front, as they already trust you because you're a student. You can get a good credit card doing this too. You'll get simple rewards and a very low credit limit, but it's a great way to get started and just start building your credit score. If you're in college and have good grades, you can get approved just for having good grades on your report. A great student credit card that I would recommend, and I've already had it myself, is the Discover It. That's a great card that many people recommend because of its 5% rotating categories, first year cashback match. That's right, every dollar you make in cashback, they match that at the end of the year. They even give you cashback for good grades. That's right, good grades. I had the Discover It and I would totally recommend it to anyone in college. Lastly, we have store credit cards, which you should not get. I would generally avoid these kind of cards as they only have good cashback and redemptions for that specific store. They usually do have a 0 annual fee, but don't contain much of the cashback features like the Chase Freedom Flex would have for the same annual fee of 0. Store credit cards can be anything from the Target.com credit card all the way to the Amazon Prime Rewards card, which in fact is actually a good credit card because it has insanely good rewards for 0 annual fee. You actually earn 5% back at Amazon and 3% back at Whole Foods, which is honestly pretty good for a store credit card. There's also no annual fees and no foreign transaction fees, but you're gonna have to be an Amazon Prime member to get a card like this. There's 2 types of store credit cards, open loop and closed loop. The Amazon Prime card is an open loop, so you can use it at any other retailer, whether it be getting some pizza, going to Walmart, or just going to Amazon itself. That's pretty cool. Cards like the Target Rewards card can only be used at Target and Target.com. These are called closed loop store credit cards. I would strongly avoid these credit cards as you can't really use them at any other store. I hope all this makes sense. There's so many credit cards out there, guys. It can be a lot to take in, and I want to let you know it's okay to feel a little overwhelmed if you're just getting started. There's so many credit cards out there. Take your time to understand what these cards are, and it'll be a lot better than just applying for some random card. Trust me, you'll thank yourself. I hope you guys all found something useful from this video. If you did, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to see my strategy, look at this video here. Hope you guys all have a good day. Take it easy.